Hey everyone, hope you are doing great. And let's start with today's story titled, My Fiancé 25 Female Dumped Me, 26 Male, on Tuesday. Today she tells me she wants the apartment to herself tomorrow for her Valentine's date. I'll try to keep this short because I'm so stunned I think I've stopped being able to process things. I've been with my fiancé for 4 years, we've been engaged since last year, and actively planning the wedding. Last month, we moved to a new city across the country because my fiance got an amazing job offer. I wasn't happy about it since I had to quit my job and all our family and friends were in the city we left. I was kind of a jerk during the moving process, but I've come around since getting here. My fiance kept talking about this guy, late 20s maybe, she worked with at her new job, and it made me uneasy. I went to a few after work events where he showed up and he seemed like a total a-hole, very full of himself, artistic type. I didn't like the way he interacted with my fiance and we would occasionally fight about it. Tuesday night, she got home really late, sat me down, and broke up with me. She said she felt an immediate bond with this coworker that's stronger than anything she's ever felt before. This from the woman who just a few months ago I held in my arms while watching the stars as she told me she's never felt more at peace than when she's beside me. I laid awake on the couch all night, feeling like I was continually being punched in the stomach. I didn't fall asleep until 3 a.m. yesterday and stayed asleep until this morning when she woke me up. Basically, she's having this a-hole over for Valentine's Day and demanded she get the apartment to herself. Between the move, all the deposits we had been putting for wedding stuff, and not having a job since we moved out here, I have literally no money for a hotel or anything else. We got into a big fight because I called her out and said she knew I had nowhere else to go. She said that's not her problem, she's done solving my problems for me, and that I needed to fix this one on my own. I guess his roommate is having a date over, so my fiance offered our place for her date with the a-hole. She says this is happening no matter what I say. So yeah, what the hell am I supposed to do? TLDR. After uprooting me from my hometown a month ago, my fiance dumped me on Tuesday and is now demanding the apartment to herself tomorrow for a date with this a-hole artist from her new job. I have no money to do anything else. And the first update. I've spent the last year working very hard to improve myself. Now that it's Valentine's Day again, I was thinking about what a dark place I was in last year. I didn't have the strength to post an update back then, but now that I've had some time to heal, I wanted to let everyone know how I'm doing. Thank you all to everyone who helped. You were the only support I had last year, and it meant the world. Part of the reason I didn't update afterward was because I was extremely embarrassed with how things turned out. It's only because of some intense therapy that I'm able to be honest and okay with telling this story. Basically, I decided to make one last big attempt at winning her back. Right after we got engaged, my ex had a close relative succumb to a long-time illness. This relative was very happy that she lived long enough to see us get engaged. When my ex was a child, this relative had given my ex a charm that she wore all the time. A few months after the relative died, my ex lost the charm, and it was like the relative died a second time. As we packed up the apartment to move to the new city, I found the charm. Rather than give it back immediately, I decided that I would keep it in a safe place and surprise my ex with it at our wedding. I thought it would be a meaningful way to include this relative in a moment where she would be deeply missed. Somehow I got in my head that if I showed her the charm on Valentine's Day, she'd remember everything that we shared and that I could cut through whatever fog she was caught up in. I was under the impression that my ex would come home after work by herself to get the place ready for her date. I was planning to use this alone time to give her the charm and either win her back or lose decisively and leave before her date showed up. But instead, she showed up with the a-hole from her job. That threw me through a loop big time, and it was incredibly awkward. He was patronizing. She became livid that I stole her charm. I struggled to articulate myself. It was the most embarrassing experience I've ever had. I got out of there and literally walked around all night until it got so cold I couldn't stand it anymore. I went back to the apartment building around 4 a.m., and in what was a personal low point, fell asleep in the hallway outside our apartment. But that was the low point. There have been high points since then. I was able to move back to my hometown, and my old employer gave me my old job back. I even met someone else and we dated for a while. We just broke up though. It sucks to be alone again on Valentine's Day, but I've learned it's okay to be sad every once in a while, and compared to last year, this year is practically a celebration. Therapy gave me a wonderful perspective on life and some great coping skills for when times get difficult. As for my ex, I heard she married the a-hole guy from work. Her sister would text me occasionally and apparently her family hates the guy. Whatever, it's not my problem anymore. Lastly, I want to thank everyone sincerely. People offered to buy me a ticket home, other people offered to hang out with me if we happened to be in the same city. Some people even offered to just Skype with me so I could have someone to talk with. Even though I didn't respond, your messages meant so much to me. Thank you. TLDR, I tried to win my ex back, it ended terribly, my life is mostly back to normal again. She's such an a-hole, uprooting him only to break up shortly after. Her marriage probably won't last long either. And next, the second story. Am I the a-hole for considering calling off my wedding because my fiancé refuses to sign a prenup after I found out she has a massive credit card debt? I am just a middle-aged man, supposed to be getting married in a few months. To my fiancé, we've been together for 3 years, engaged for 1, and for most of that time, I genuinely believed we were on the same page about life values and, most importantly, honesty. For background, I've worked hard to build a stable financial foundation. I'm not wealthy, but I own my home outright, have no personal debt, and I've been saving and investing since my early 20s. It's been a priority for me, especially since my parents went through a nasty divorce that ruined both of them financially. About a month ago, while we were discussing wedding costs, I brought up a prenup, not in a cold or controlling way. I just wanted to protect the life I've worked hard to build. I was upfront that I'd still be fair and the agreement wouldn't leave her with nothing. I expected an adult conversation. Instead, she immediately got defensive. She said things like, "So you're already planning for a divorce?" And I thought we trusted each other. I tried to explain it wasn't about trust, it was about transparency and mutual protection. But she shut it down completely. That's when red flags started popping up. She became evasive every time money came up, and I started noticing weird things. Credit card offers in the mail, a few missed payments on shared expenses she said she'd cover, and lots of "I'll handle it later" energy. So I asked directly if she had debt. She admitted it. $92,000 in credit card debt. Not student loans, not a mortgage, just credit cards. She said it accumulated over the years from unexpected expenses and a few dumb splurges. But she never told me about any of it until I forced the issue. I was stunned. We were about to merge lives. This woman was about to legally become my spouse, and she didn't think I deserved to know she was 6 figures in the red? I told her this made the prenup non-negotiable for me. I need to protect myself, not just emotionally, but financially. I told her I was willing to still move forward, but not without something in writing that protects my premarital assets. She lost it, called me selfish, said I was turning love into a business deal, said my house and money should be hers too if we're truly a team. Since then, she's refused to talk about the prenup again, and we're barely speaking. Even her mother called me and accused me of humiliating her daughter and being materialistic. All I want is to not be liable for debt I didn't create, and to make sure the life I built before this relationship is protected. So now I'm seriously reconsidering the whole wedding. Not because she has debt, but because she hid it, then refused to take responsibility, and now is treating me like the bad guy for trying to protect myself. I'm almost certain that she could pay her debts since she is a partner in her friend's business, but she just refuses to. Am I the a-hole for thinking about walking away? And the update? So I wasn't planning to come back, but a lot of people messaged me, and honestly, it's been a hell of a few days. Figured I'd give an update. So yeah, the wedding is officially off. After I posted, I tried one more time to talk to my fiancé, well, ex now. I told her I wasn't trying to be cold or controlling, I just needed to protect myself. I also said that if the roles were reversed, I'd completely understand if she wanted to do the same. I told her I could still move forward with the wedding if we signed a fair prenup, one that clearly said her debt is hers and my home/savings are mine if things go bad. I also said I'd go to therapy or counseling with her if this felt like a deeper trust issue. She didn't take it well, said again that the prenup was an insult and I was basically planning for divorce. Then she started crying and said I was humiliating her and that I was destroying everything we had built over money. But that's the thing, it's not just about the money, it's about the fact that she kept a massive amount of debt hidden until she had no choice but to tell me. And even then, she only told me because I pushed for it. That's not partnership, that's avoidance. So I told her I couldn't go through with it. I called off the wedding. It sucked, it still sucks. We told the venue to cancel what we could and let people know. Her family is furious. Mine has been supportive, but trying not to say I told you so. I've lost a lot of money deposits to suit some family flying in from out of state. But honestly, that's nothing compared to what could have happened if I had ignored my gut. She moved out 2 days ago. We've barely spoken. I keep second-guessing myself even now. I didn't want this. But I also don't want to wake up one day in financial ruin, wondering why I ignored every red flag just to avoid hurting someone. Anyway, thanks to everyone who gave advice or just listened. I'm heartbroken, yeah, but I feel like I did the right thing. Doesn't make it easy, just necessary. She tried to con him and ended up getting exposed. OP is lucky he dodged a bullet. And next, the third story. My wife, together for 12 years, and married 7, is leaving me for someone she has known for 3 months. A slight preface, my wife and her brother were very close when young. He got very into alcohol, went to prison for 10 years, went immediately back to drinking, then died in front of her. My wife, aged 30, and I, 33, started going to the gym together. We were loving the results of the fitness. It made sex even better, and we couldn't keep our hands off each other. We felt as happy and close as ever. 3 weeks after her brother died, this guy chats her up at the gym and she immediately clicks with him. I was wary, but I trusted my wife. She is a sweetheart and never imagined her having the ability to have an affair. Last weekend, we had one of the most romantic days and evenings we have had in a while. This week, she decides that she cannot go on without finding out why she developed such a quick connection with this guy. We own a house and 3 pets. Her family and everyone we know are devastated and blown away, but she is dead serious. The woman I knew last week even, has left the building. This is a living nightmare that I just want to wake up from. We did couples counseling 3 times and have one schedule on Wednesday, but she has completely made up her mind and seems to have rapidly fell out of love with me. My life as I had known it is over. I just needed to get this all off my chest. And the update, I had a kind Redditor reach out to me over the weekend asking how I was doing regarding the above situation. The original post got a lot of attention, so I figured I would give an update. My wife filed for divorce a month after moving out. During this time, I did the whole online dating thing, which was way worse than I could have ever expected. Kept myself busy working out, building my own confidence, hanging out with friends. In general, it was horrible, but I was trying to keep my head up. I was in therapy. Didn't jive with my first therapist, found a new one in December who I liked a lot more and am still seeing her. Mid-December, my wife calls me, crying, asking if she can stay in the guest bedroom because she has nowhere to go. I say yes, even though she hurt me so badly, I did still love her. So things with Guy at the gym turned very toxic very fast. I know the word narcissist gets thrown around a lot these days. This guy, though, it's hard to believe these subhuman pieces of trash actually exist. So, she stays in the guest bedroom for a week, then goes and stays at her parents' for a month. She had a nervous breakdown and was able to get a medical leave of absence from her work. Mid-January comes around and she is back at the house, but still in a very frantic and erratic state, sort of like she was withdrawing off hard drugs. I had no idea about the addictive nature of toxic relationships. It's a psychological clusterfuck. She is clear that she is too effed up in the head to be in a relationship and is going to work on herself. I give her the time and space she requested. She goes all in on learning about the psychology of all of this shit. Inner child work, how the nervous system reacts and attracts you to toxic people if you grew up in a toxic household. Anxious and avoidant attachment styles. There is this book called How to Stay Married where the wife had an affair, and it turns out the root of the issue was her unresolved childhood trauma. Long story short, same thing happened here. It hurts, but I can forgive her. She is my best friend and we are insanely compatible in a lot of ways. She has really been returning to herself the past month. She is the happiest I have seen in her at least a year, and last week we filed the paperwork to dismiss the divorce. We are both in individual counseling and soon to start couples therapy. I am sure a lot of people will think I am making a mistake in reconciling, but I am happy. I do trust her that she now has the knowledge to not let this happen again, and she has the drive to become the best person she can be. Edit. I am reading all the comments and taking everything to heart. Even, and especially, the ones calling me stupid, chump, doormat. I completely understand where you are coming from. I just don't have time or desire to respond to so much. I want things to work out, and do trust my gut that this was a one-time thing. I will post an update and take all of the I told you so if it comes to that. He's really going to regret that, but what can we say? It's his life. And that's it for today, dear viewers. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss out. See you next time. Bye-bye.